Well, good morning. They say make hay while the sun shines, and that is what I have to do today. Today is Sunday, February 12th. We just came off of a lot of rain and cold and just drippy weather. It's just been terrible. It's just been terrible. It was really, this really bad storm system came through Wednesday. We had a tornado touch down just a couple of miles from my house. It did a lot of damage. It sent people to the hospital, but luckily nobody was killed, and there were children involved, and they ended up being okay, so that's a blessing. And so I can't complain, and I'm not complaining, but it ushered in this cold snap, and then it started raining, and it rained all day yesterday, and I haven't been able to do anything outside. I've gotten things accomplished in my house, but not outside. So today it's sunny and it's beautiful. Tomorrow it's supposed to be partly cloudy and then rain again Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just depending on whether the fronts hit us the right way or whatever. Could be severe later in the week. So I have today. Let me just say I have today. Tomorrow is never a guarantee. I have today. So I've got a list, because if I don't make a list, I end up just wandering around looking at things and thinking how pretty this is and pretty that is. And I get bogged down in the looking, and I need to be doing. So here's my list. Check on blue potted snow peas. Now, this isn't really a task. This is just something I want to do this morning because I haven't been able to walk out here and do it. The other day, I think it was Friday, February 3rd, I planted some blue potted snow peas over here by this horse fence. You know, I've been dying to plant something over here by this horse fence. So I thought if I did it on the other side of this tree where there's some debris and I've never seen the horse standing right near this tree, that maybe I could grow them and they wouldn't get eaten. But I don't even know if they're gonna come up, because over here it is very woodsy. Let me see. It's been a week. I don't see any sign. Matter of fact, leaves have kind of covered up my little furrow that I had. It was pretty much exposed dirt where I kind of left a little furrow and covered the furrow, but now I don't see anything. And I planted them all the way to there. I don't see anything yet. Aha, never give up. Look at what's there. I'm just gonna say that's a pea. I'm not sure. I found another one. Okay. So they're here, and they're wanting to come up. So I'm just gonna kind of leave those leaves off. I'm not gonna bother anything else. As long as I know they're kind of wanting to come up, I'm just gonna leave them here. I'm gonna leave them here, and we're gonna see. What is that down there? Oh, that's up. I got two of them trying to come up. Okay, you see, I didn't have any faith. I was just thinking when I walked over here and I didn't see anything that, oh well. But they're there and they're wanting to grow. And look at that rich soil with the leaf mulch and the black dirt. They're just gonna come up in their sweet time. So I'm gonna leave them be. The next thing on my list is put soil on 3 piles by trees. I'll explain what that means in a minute, but look at my little soil pile. It's about gone. I think I have enough to at least do this chore. I don't know if I have enough to do the next one on my list, but I'm gonna go ahead and put what I have into this wheelbarrow and we'll see what we can get done. Okay, so in the front of our property, I have these 3 big oak trees. I have an azalea bush that's right in the middle of them, and I really kind of wanted to make this little area a planting area. I put a load of horse manure between these first two trees. Not sure what I'm going to plant there. I haven't figured that one out yet, but I'm going to put something. On this side of the tree, I put a load of manure to the right and to the left of our Blessed Mother statue. I can see the statue from my bedroom window, and it's just going to make this area look beautiful. And what I'm going to plant here, I'm going to put a load of dirt on top of this manure, but what I'm going to plant to the left and right of the statue is French sorrel. And I'm hoping that it'll do good here. It can be a perennial in certain climates, so we'll have to see. Around the front here, I have another little area of manure. What I'm putting here is I'm going to plant in the back part of it, against the azalea, I'm going to put some Selma Pheno fennel. I'm hoping a few of those will come up because they can get about 6 feet tall, and I just think they're fronds. Oh, they're beautiful. And I'm hoping that it'll just add a little height to this area. In front of it, along this front, right now, I'm just going to plant some leek seeds. My leeks were the first things to come up in my seed starting trays, but when I had those issues with the damping and all, they didn't do good. And now they're just pathetic looking. So I don't know if they're going to do good or not, but I'm just going to direct sow some in this spot. So all the way around this tree area with the azalea, I'm just going to try to make it look beautiful. So I had enough dirt to put a little on each pile. I'm going to go over there. I've got my rake here. I'm going to go rake it really quick, but I wanted to show you a couple of things along the way. I got my T-post put up for these tomato beds that are going to be along my carport. Everything kind of looks a little jaggy right now, but it's going to all work out. I think I can fit about 9 tomatoes here. I didn't exactly measure the T-post, and one of them's a little wider than the other. I think though that I can fit 9 in here. Over here at the end of the ramp, I had put horse manure a few weeks ago. It looks like mud right now because we've had so much rain. I don't want it to be all leached out and exposed to the sun every day. So I think I'm going to go ahead and cover this up with leaves. I could probably get at least 4 good tomatoes there, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I want to pull things as close to my house as I can so that when I'm going to harvest, or when I just need to tend to them, or just get in here and prune or anything, I'm not walking all over my property. And it's so convenient to my water hose, that you see it laying right there, the green water hose. It's so convenient to that to have these things up near my house. And speaking of that, there's my English peas. They're hanging in there. And y'all, I had pretty much 100% germination. There's a couple of little missed spots. You see them every now and then. But in general, for English peas, this is great. This is great. But I've noticed this morning, look at there. They're starting to set tendrils. That one there has some tendrils going. They're starting to set tendrils, and they're just doing great. And when we have this terrible weather, like yesterday was just terrible, Wednesday was violent, they don't care. They just don't care. They've just done wonderful. So I'm so excited about that. Another thing I have coming up is my fava beans. Not all of them. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8 that have come up and are growing. Some more may pop up, you never know. But I planted 15, and only 8 came up. But that's okay. That's okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. I want to have some fava beans, and if these 8 do good, well, you know, I mean, it's not going to be anything I'm going to be spending an afternoon pressure canning or anything, but that's okay. I'm just going to eat these fresh as they come up anyway. Okay. Got those covered up. Got the one back there. And got the one back there. So they're all covered up with soil. I'm going to come in here in just a minute and plant the seeds. I went over here also and I got a load of leaves. I went to a part of my property where the leaves I know are broken down pretty good. Not all of them, but a good base of them are. And I went ahead and laid a good thick area of those leaves on this section. This is where I'm putting tomatoes in March. So I'm not worried right now if it's covered up with leaves 4 inches deep. That's okay, because I'm just trying to protect that manure and protect my soil until March. And then I think when I dig down in there and plant the tomatoes, it's going to be fabulous. This little area over here, I did a video about it, but I think that's the one that I couldn't upload. And so I hope I'm not repeating myself. But what I did over here one day was I planted Italianized lettuce over here. And I've been watching and watching and watching and haven't seen anything until today. It's very tiny. I'll show them to you in a second. But I was kind of giving up hope. I planted watercress, aqualeaf watercress over here. And again, we had that big rain come. It actually just started taking my soil and everything, and almost kind of washing it away over here. And that's a downer. Now, watercress wants wet soil. It wants watery soil and stuff. So I was like, well, I know it can grow if the water's going to kind of run here every now and then. But the seeds would have to germinate and have a little root system or something before it could withstand something like that. And I thought maybe my seeds had been kind of washed away. However, I just found a couple little bitty ones, and I think they're coming up. I think some of them are coming up. So I was going to kind of dog this one off and maybe go ahead and plant tomatoes there. But if they're coming up, I'm going to see what they do. And I've got till March before I plant my tomatoes. So end of March. So I'm just going to kind of see what this watercress can do in the meantime. I was about to give up on that Italianized lettuce, but I think that's one coming up. And then I think that's one coming up. And that might be one there. That's all I see right now. I planted like 39 of them in this little row, and I only see 3 or 4, but that's okay. And over here in my watercress, look at that little bitty one right there. It's just a little bitty one. And I have another one. I have another one right there, coming up right there. I have another one coming up right there. Little bitty, but it's there. And another one right there. And there may be more. This is just all I'm seeing while I'm sitting in this one spot. But you know what I'm going to call this? Tiny signs of hope. Tiny signs of hope that spring is coming and that some of this stuff is germinating and growing. And I'm ready for spring. Just tiny signs of hope that it's all going to work out, that the seeds you plant are going to grow, just like my peas are doing, just like my spinach is doing. It hadn't started really putting off leaves yet, big leaves, but it's growing. Every day I walk out here and it's growing. Tiny signs of hope. Just plant the seed. To that end, I am fixing to plant my French sorrel. I noted on here that this is a perennial variety, but I think it does depend on whether you live in a climate that can allow it to be that. But it does come up and grow in 60 days, and it grows to about 18 inches. I'm going to put a picture really quick so you can see it, because this is just a generic picture here. I got these seeds from Territorial Seed Company. And on the back it says to sow outdoors. You direct sow one seed every 1 to 2 inches as soon as the soil can be worked. And cover the seed slightly and gently press it down. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get these beds going. And I'm just hoping that this French sorrel will like it here. that it'll grow and make this area look really beautiful. Working around the tree to this little area, I'm going to go ahead and plant some leeks along this front part. I'm going to leave the back part for the Selma Pheno Fennel, which I think I'm going to do in the next few days because it said it really does better in 65 to 80 degree soil. And right now our soil is about 63 degrees, but I think it'll be okay for these American flag leeks. I think it'll be okay for that. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of these in the ground. And then my green stalk, I'm doing okay. I planted arugula at the top and it's doing good. I planted some butter lettuce in the middle and it's doing good. The romaine at the bottom, I wasn't sure about it anyway. Now I do have some growing. I have some that's coming up, but I had about 3 missed spots. So rather than let that dirt go to waste, I think I'm just going to stick some of these seeds in there. This is basically a blonde full heart escarole. Just a kind of bitter type of lettuce to add to salads. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those in there. And it says 60 days on them, and that'll be okay. And that's something that can just keep growing in my little green stalk for right now. And I want to kind of keep it full. I want to use it. And it's been doing okay. It's been getting lots of moisture and rain. And so I'm real happy with it. I'm hoping this arugula will really bulk up soon, and I can enjoy some of that. Okay, let me assess my list again. Put soil on manure along end of ramp by Kettle. Well, I didn't do that as I explained, but I did put a big mulching of leaves for right now because I'm out of soil. So pretty much check that off. The next one, plant French sorrel to left and right of Mary. Did that. And the other spot, plant like this, Selma Pheno, Fennel, and leeks. I got the leeks planted. I'll come back with the Selma Pheno Fennel shortly. Okay, put leaves on tomato spot at end of ramp to provide, okay, well that's what I did because I didn't put the soil, so that's good, okay. Plant escarole in missed spots in green stalk, got that done. Here's another one that I hadn't talked about. If no corn salad came up yet, plant the Etamps variety of corn salad. And what I was doing was I had planted that along the end of my trailer in a bed all along the end of my trailer. The other day I had planted the Vit corn salad and it hasn't come up yet that I know of. But let me see if I have any tiny signs of hope with my corn salad today because I haven't looked at it since this rain. If I do, I'm okay. If not, what I was thinking was I might just come back with a brand called Etamps, a variety called Etamps, and see if it would work. I had misread, and the Vit corn salad said to plant it in the fall. I had another variety called Etamps that said you could plant it in the spring, and I should have done the Etamps from the get-go. Okay, tiny signs of hope. There's one there. And there's one there. Got a little ant crawling by it. Okay, let me walk. Well, there's one there. Okay, so let me walk this row and see how many more I see, and then I'll decide what I'm gonna do. Okay, I only saw about 4 more, but every one of them are tiny. Tiny sign of hope, yes, but tiny. So that tells me there could be more coming up now that the sun has come out and I guess they've had enough time in the ground, they're ready to come up. Okay, so I had only sowed against the back part of this, intending to come back later with more Vit corn salad and sow along the front of the row for like a succession planting, for a second planting. So what I'm gonna do is instead of coming back with the Vit corn salad, I'm gonna come back with the Etamps corn salad. It's only a 50-day process, so this is pretty quick, and it should still be mild weather. It shouldn't be hot or anything in 50 days, I'm hoping. But anyway, we'll try it. And I wrote on the back of this that these seeds come from Switzerland. So I must have got that off of the website from Territorial Seeds. So that's very interesting. I'm just excited to plant some of these different varieties, and corn salad is one of them, and I've heard it's so good, so I want to try it. Also on my list was to get a little mulching of wood chips down this whole row of peas. This soil, I can tell, it's been good, but it's getting beat up. A lot of the rocks are starting to show through because the soil's getting beat down. And I really want to protect this soil because I'm coming through after these peas with some bush beans, some snap beans, and then I'm coming through after that, if all goes according to plan, with a row of cowpeas. So I want to keep this soil good. I want to keep it moist and healthy so that I can roll in those other crops later. I got the wood chips around the English peas, and I think that looks so much better. It just looks so much neater, and it'll hold in moisture, and I may not have to worry about watering these very often. Tick that off my list. I also had put wood chips all around carport beds and on grass in walkway opening. Got that done. Whenever I do these lists, I realize that I probably won't get it all done, but that's okay. I want to write down everything I know I need to do, and I will get it done as I can, as soon as I can. That's always my goal. It is just early afternoon, but I had promised my husband I'd take him for a ride. So we're gonna leave here and go for a ride for just a little while. I'll be back before dark, and I can get a few more things on this list done before dark. And then a few other things on this list were about starting seeds. And I'm not gonna go inside and start seeds on a day like this. I'm just not gonna do it. I'll do that after dark when I'm inside anyway. So I feel like by the time this day's over, I will have gotten a lot done on my list. There's a couple of things that are just gonna have to roll till tomorrow because they were a little more time involved than I could give it today. Like for instance, putting the wire up on these T-posts right here. I have to get my cutters out and bring that wire from over in the shed and cut and measure and do zip ties and everything. So I'd rather just start fresh on that in the morning. And the second thing is my potatoes. I'm ready to plant my potatoes. I chitted up my potatoes and they're ready to go in the ground, but there again, it's gonna take a little bit more time. I think what I'm gonna do is that's what I'm gonna put in the spot where my organic soil was. I wanna go ahead and put that spot into use so that I don't end up with weeds growing on it or anything. And so I think what I'm gonna do is get my wheel hoe out of my shed and bring it out there and bust that up. And then I'm gonna put a little fertilizer in the bottom of the rows and then go with it, plant my potatoes. I'm probably gonna need more room than what's over there, but I'm probably gonna end up with about 2 spots where my potatoes are. There again, I have to think about that second spot. I had a spot in mind, but what I'm worried about is this, once my trees fill out with leaves, that spot would be too shady. And potatoes do like to be out in the sun. So I'm gonna think about it a little bit and maybe come up, it might even be 3 spots I come up with. I don't know, wherever I have the room and wherever I feel like the soil's conducive to putting those potatoes, that's what I'm gonna do. So that needs a little more thinking. I've got tomorrow, which should be good, just partly cloudy tomorrow. And then Tuesday, we'll see. We'll just see. I think we have rain, but we'll see. I'd like to have those potatoes in the ground, and a good little rain at the beginning of them won't do bad. I don't think it's not more of an all-day rain. I think it's more of a line of thunderstorms rolling through here. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. And I hope maybe the theme of this video, which I really didn't know was going to become a theme until I actually bent over and started looking for some of these seeds growing, but those tiny signs of hope. I hope that hits you today, because first of all, never give up on these seeds when you put them in the ground. Don't give up until it's just obvious nothing's ever going to come up. Sometimes it might say 7 days that they germinate. It might be 14. I did plant some of these seeds while it was cold, but they said they were cold hardy, so I thought that was okay. But I also have to realize that may slow down the germination sometimes. So they may just not pop up in the 7 days it says on the package. It may be a little bit more than that. And this is proven to be that way, but that's okay. It's a tiny sign of hope. They're coming up. They're coming up. I may end up with something out of all that corn salad, that Italianischer lettuce, and all that watercress. If I can grow watercress, I've done something. I'm doing good. So I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you for joining me here today at Hilltop Home Place. Beautiful Sunday. So blessed and so just full of hope. I'm full of hope today. I hope you are too. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.